it just looks like that. Don't let the look fool you. Unless you're a GM.
Scotty, seems often compared you and Andre Iguodala, just the ability to do different kind of facets of the game and also just adaptability to roles. What do you kind of see with them?
I see that being true. I think we have a lot of similarities on the basketball court, the way we play the game, the skill level, our athleticism, the little things that we do on the court that I did on the court that doesn't show up in the stat sheet. Just rebounding the ball, powering it out. Heard Steve say, Andre doesn't always get the assist, but he makes the pass that leads to the assist. So, but it's all predicated on his ability to be able to do multiple things out on the basketball court, rebounding the ball, coming up with steals, leading the team in transition. All of that becomes gravy for you because you don't have to rely on your point guard to make plays and do things for you throughout the game. It's good to have players that are more versatile, that can break defenses down and create opportunities for your team, especially in transition.
I think we're hearing more than ever this year about Michael and LeBron and this comparison that these are the two guys that are on the top of Mount Everest, and it's a debate. You play with Michael for such a long time, know him as well as anyone. You've watched LeBron. Is it a debate, and what is the comparison in your mind between the two of them?
Okay, I'm going to give you my honest answer. I hope I never get this question again. There's really no comparison. Michael Jordan played in an era where the game was different. It was being refereed different than what LeBron is playing in. LeBron plays a different role than what Michael played as a player. In all fairness to Michael, he was never asked to do the things that LeBron do for his team. He had a lesser role. And statistically, that's why you're seeing LeBron numbers are far better than Michael Jordan's numbers in terms of what he do throughout the whole game, because we didn't utilize Michael to do things that the Cavs utilized LeBron for. So the comparison is unfair. They play different positions. I know a lot of times we love answering that question because we want to hear the storylines behind it, but the truth of the matter is it's not a fair comparison to LeBron or Michael. One guy is considered a two guard and one guy is considered a small forward, and they definitely are great in their era. They're both the greatest in their era, but to say who is the greatest, we will never know that. I mean, in my eye, Wilt Chamberlain is the greatest basketball player, but Michael and LeBron should never be really compared because it's almost like comparing Kareem to me. So that wouldn't be fair.
Would you watch Draymond Green at his best on defense as a guy who played defense? How did it like to watch him?
Well, it's great to watch him. I mean, to me, he's if I could say this and not feel like that I'm taking a shot at him, but he's an undersized power forward. But his ability to play hard, his ability to have such a strong presence, his ability to use his verbal abuse to intimidate has made him one of the best power forwards in our game today, and you can see it throughout the game with his leadership and how his team are able to rally off of his style of play and off of his enthusiasm. I would do great. It is a game that I've watched change and evolve over the last 10 to 15 years. And as I was saying a minute ago, Coach Don Nelson tried to implement this into the NBA games at the beginning of my career. And it didn't work out then because I think that he didn't have enough three-point shooters. But in today's game, it's what you got to have. You got to have guys that are willing to take the three-point shot, make it, but you got to have them ready to defend on the other end of the court. And if you got those pieces, then you can compete in today's game. But you definitely got to have guys that are willing to take the three-point shot and to shoot it at a high percentage.
How do you compare the skill level of the most athletic wings in the game today with the ones that you played against in your era?
Well, I think the skill level is about the same. I think from a physicality standpoint, players today are in better shape. Teams are doing all that they can to make sure that they're in better shape and they stay more healthy throughout the season. But, you know, it's still the same position. It's still played the same way. You know, guys have to prepare themselves the same way. It's a long season, and I think in today's game, players have a little bit of an advantage because the game is not as physical as it was back in the 80s, even in the 90s. So you're less likely to get injured to some degree. Not to say that they're not getting injured, but it was just seemed to be looking that the physicality of the game is not as harsh as it was. Me playing against the Pistons in the late 80s and into the 90s. So it's different, and I think the league has done a great job of really making sure that they clean the game up and make it just more competitive game and not a dirty game.
What do you think about the job Steve Kerr is doing coaching this team? As you said, once you get to the mountaintop, it's very hard to stay there consistently. So how do you keep motivating the team, touting to the team?
Well, the job I think he's done so far speak for itself. I mean, we are sitting here in the Western Conference Finals, and you know, he's back where he feels very comfortable and very familiar. So I think he's done a tremendous job. The job is not done yet, but just to get him back here, you know, it's a great accomplishment. A lot of teams win a championship and they have a tendency of letting their guards down, but I think Steve has done a great job of keeping these guys motivated throughout the regular season. He's dealt with some injuries and things of that nature, but just to be back here and have an opportunity, 3 wins away from going back to the finals, I think he's done an excellent job.
How about the challenge of coming to back-to-back championships?
Well, I mean, that's the nature of the beast. I think, you know, as long as you're in the game, you always have the hunger of wanting to play in the postseason and win a championship. So, you know, you just have to stay healthy, and that really determines where you're going to be in terms of the postseason. And for them, health has been pretty good. I know they lost Steph for a little while, but, you know, KD has stepped in and really did what they needed to do to maintain. And as again, they're back here in the Western Conference Finals, and I think everyone feels very strongly that they're still the team to beat.
Last question.
You got a new guy every year. You got Hansen and Darryl Walker, and then you bring Rodman in. Is that important to keep it fresh?
I do think it was to keep it fresh and just to keep some hunger out there. You know, we have won, so we get a little bit more complacent, but to bring in a guy like Darryl Walker, knowing that he won the championship, to be honest, Darryl never let you slip. If you see you slacking, he felt like that was his opportunity slipping away. So I think it is important to, you know, bring in some fresh blood, guys that have that hunger that wants to win. It truly did help us in our run.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.